Yeah, I can fucking edit and then do this and still go to school full time and still, like have a full time job and like.
Are you recording this? Is this that thing that you're doing where we're talking, getting real fucking deep, and you've been recording for 5 minutes?
5 minutes?
No. So anyway, though. Hi, welcome back.
Just lean in a little more. Do we want to start?
Are we or are we not?
All right, go.
Okay.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Were we recording?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I need to know.
All right. We're recording.
God damn it.
So.
Okay, so.
Hi, welcome back.
Hey, bienvenidos, casuals.
Cozy.
What?
Did you watch the new Star Wars trailer?
Huh? No, because I don't watch trailers.
Watch them, and that's actually kind of rubbed off on me. I haven't seen it either.
Really?
I'm
You don't
sorry.
watch trailers?
No.
I try not to.
I saw the first trailer where she does a
for
backflip.
stuff like that. Like if it's like
the teaser trailer.
No, I don't even watch
like
those
usually
anymore.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But
I did
saw
for like
her,
Avengers.
It depends on the movie, because some movies I don't give a shit about, and I wasn't really gonna give a shit about this new Star Wars movie. But then she did a fucking backflip, and I'm assuming just like chopped this plane in half, and I thought that was hilarious. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not watching any more trailers.
Why do you see that and think hilarious,
Rob?
Because
funny.
okay,
Hold on. I got this. Think of the first 3 Star Wars movies. How everything was about like symbology and like the struggle of light versus darkness, and now it's just like, I'm gonna backflip a plane in half.
Okay,
that's Star Wars.
I
now.
actually, dude, I
wasn't
sat
thinking
down
about it
with-
like that, but
I
that's
said-
also an excellent point.
I sat down with a person today,
Ooh.
and we were talking for like, I want to say like 40 fucking minutes about Star Wars, about nothing but Last Jedi and the prequels. Like that was like, we talked because.
What about The Force Awakens?
Well, a little bit of that, but like in the Star Wars community especially, it is such an interesting thing to talk about The Last Jedi because everybody, like, I respect this. Like, I'm not saying that I don't respect people who like The Last Jedi. That's not what I'm just saying. But I generally, a lot of the people who would bring up like a point of like, I didn't like The Last Jedi because I don't think Luke Skywalker would be that way, and I don't agree with that
because
opinion.
he got so much character development in the first 3 that you can surmise that.
Exactly. Like, I don't agree with that at all. I'm like, if anything, that made the most sense. Everybody in his family is kind of like, I don't know what to fucking do when responsibility is thrusted upon me and I just shit the bed. Like, that is the Skywalker thing.
Yep.
So that's what he
That
did.
is the Skywalker way.
So I was like, no, that makes sense. The guy I was talking to about this was like, to me, this movie is The Last Jedi was the most Lucas-esque because it took the most risks. And if you look at like the original Star Wars, or the not the original, but the prequels are just the craziest. Like, to think about what he was trying to do on paper and then went for it, like, is the ballsiest thing to do. Like, because he's like, think about episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Have you seen?
That is the only Star Wars movie I've never seen.
Okay. I'm going to give you, like...
Pretty much what I'd get from most people.
It's pretty meh, but I'm going to tell you all the things that this movie tries to do.
Sure.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi doing, like, a cop noir movie.
Yeah.
Where he's, like, trying to track down things. On top of the normal political things of, like, oh, the Empire's being handed...
The Senate is after...
Yeah, trade federations, and now we find out that this army has been commissioned by somebody who isn't, like, all this weird shit, and that's why Obi-Wan's doing his whole noir thing. And then you have a love story, like a Romeo and Juliet love story going on between Anakin and Padme.
Yeah.
All of that, George Lucas saw the movie Dr. Zhivago, which is about the Russian Revolution. Like, it's following the Russian Revolution. It's like an old classic. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I'm going to do this with that movie. Like, with that movie in mind. I'm going to kind of try to pace it like Dr. Zhivago. So he's taking another thing. And then on top of all of that, he's like, I'm going to use digital film, which has never been fucking used before.
Yep.
And I'm going to use CG, which has never been really fucking used before, with like green screens and blue screens and all that bullshit. Like, This is the most ballsy thing to do with your massive enterprise or franchise that you have created. And he's like, I'm gonna do that, and that's why this guy was like, I think that's why I like The Last Jedi more than like Force Awakens, because Force Awakens is a super safe film.
Like Last Jedi didn't stick to a script really.
But my problem was the Last Jedi is just kind of boring.
It was a super whatever movie.
It's just there wasn't the
for as much as it wanted to depart from Star Wars, it just became everything else that isn't Star Wars.
Yeah, that was my issue with the movie. It's one thing to try and turn what's the word I'm looking for? There's a specific word, but essentially to just go against a trope. Subvert expectations.
Okay. Yeah.
It's one thing if you try to subvert expectations once, maybe twice in a movie, but it seemed like throughout this entire movie, at least to me, it seemed like every single chance they got to try and subvert expectations for a Star Wars movie,
they tried to like twist.
It was trying to be edgy,
opposite of everything every other Star Wars movie did, which I can appreciate that on a smaller scale. Like instead of the point of the movie where it's like, hey, the wars aren't about the heroes who hear, it's about the people who fight them,
and the moral gray area. I liked that.
So like with Luke not being the hero, with the general doing the fucking light speed ramming thing, and she like kind of saves the day like that, I totally get it. But like so many other things in the movie where they're like, oh hey, you thought this was gonna happen because it's a Star Wars movie? Haha, too bad, now it's not. We're gonna do the opposite.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was somebody who was desperately trying to trick the audience. On a movie level, I thought it was a pretty good, decent movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it seemed like it was trying to play up against cliches, tropes, and stereotypes in one way or another, that's what made it kind of a shitty Star Wars movie to me.
Yeah. My whole thing with it was the reason I really didn't like it is that the whole movie is based upon Rey and Kylo Ren's like relationship, and then at the end of the movie, when it comes to the crux of where their relationship should deepen, that it's been building up to the whole fucking film of like, oh, we're not as different as we seem, and we're kind of doing this, and then they're like, I'm gonna go do this, and she's like, okay, bye, and then I'm like, wait, no, the whole point of this is that per her character, she would be like, I'm gonna go with him
because she's looking for somewhere to belong.
I'm gonna go with him, and I'm gonna go like even if I think I can change him, because that's kind of her thing. That's her whole shtick throughout that whole movie is, I think there's good in him. I think I can change him. She's the Luke Skywalker. He's the Darth Vader of that. I think I can change him. And then when it comes to that point where they're like, hey, this is her moment to be like, I'm going to change him. He's like, hey, I'm going to go do some bad shit. And she's like, oh, okay, well, bye. I don't want to do that. And he's like, okay. And then that's it. It just like the whole movie builds up to that, and then just like kind of like, she needs to go we need somebody to go save those guys, and she's free.
I didn't see it like that. Like, that's an interesting interpretation because I never thought about it like that.
This is also, I'm gonna like really quick. This is why I like talking about The Last Jedi, because it's such and I guess I can say that it's a good film for that. It has. Everybody sees that movie in like 100 different ways. Like, there are parts that we can all agree on that are boring, like the fucking casino bit is like really long and drawn out.
Yeah.
And like there's things like that, but like everybody has because we've all created such an interesting or our own foundation of what Star Wars is. And when Lucas isn't doing it, we feel like we can criticize it because it's no longer in the hands of the actual guy who wants it or who made it. So now it's free to us to take however we want it. But that movie specifically, everybody imprints their own idea of what Star Wars is to them, and that's what determines whether they like it or dislike it.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I like talking about it. Anyway, continue.
So what I was saying, like, I kind of feel more like what Jeff was saying, like with Rey. I never thought about it the way that you saw it as. The way I always saw like the whole like Rey's story arc is Act 1, it starts with her being with Luke. And she's like, okay, he's going to be my master. He's going to be the guy that I follow. And it's like, oh, no, he's really shitty. Like, or not, quote, he's really shitty.
Yeah.
He's not someone you should have be your mentor, be your hero.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, okay, well, fuck that. And then she, like, from kind of continuing from the first movie into when she goes into the darkness of the cave, she's like, oh, you know what? I need to find out who my parents are. I have a way of maybe finding out who my parents are. I want to belong to my parents. I need to find out who they are.
Yeah.
And then she goes into the Force cave and she just sees darkness, and then she just sees herself. And she's like, oh, that's a little weird, but okay, I guess. And then, like, you know, there's that whole thing with her and Kylo Ren. And Kylo Ren's like, you should join me. Yeah, your parents fucking losers. Luke, loser. You know who's not a loser? This guy. You should join me. And you're right. She does have this huge moment where she's like, you know what? Maybe we should join up. And to kind of, again, going back to what Jeff said, and the way I kind of saw it was her wavering between, do I just want to belong to someone because I want to belong somewhere? But then she makes that decision for herself where he's like, yeah, I'm a bad kid who's about to go do bad things. And she's like, you know what? I don't want any part of that. And I realize I don't need anybody. I can just believe in myself. And that's what the cave was trying to teach me. I'm a fucking do me, homie. And then she just pieces out away from him. That's the way that I always interpreted
I still think that that's there. I 100% think that that's there. I just think that when she's like, I'm going to be me, is still going to be like, I'm going to show him that. Like
we should do it my way.
Yeah, that there is good, and I can change him. I can make not in the sense of I need to be with somebody to belong, to feel belonging, but I personally feel like there is more to him than this evil exterior that he's trying to like show off, and I want to change that, and I can change that, and I think I can change that, and I think if anybody can do it, it's going to be me. I think there's a confidence to her. And I just think that the movie kind of like leads up to that, and then it's like, or you can go hang out with those guys that you met like 20 minutes ago, and canonically, like, you want to go do that? Oh yeah, like that's cool.
Okay, so is that whole movie? It's like a day, right?
The whole 2 movies.
Oh yeah, that's
because it literally picks up where Force Awakens ends.
I know that, but like that movie obviously takes place over time. I'm pretty sure The Last Jedi is like a couple days, like or a day or two.
Yeah, The Last Jedi. Oh yeah, so like
all that takes place in like a week.
No, it's like 2 days.
Just The Last Jedi is like
2 days.
Such a compartmentalized portion of time.
Yeah, it's a 2-day thing probably, if not less than that.
Sorry, I was including Force Awakens.
You mean the whole thing?
Oh yeah,
those 2
Force
movies
Awakens,
was like a week.
Yeah, that's like
so the whole trilogy is gonna be like a month.
Yeah, well that's like the like if you could end Star Wars, because this has got to be it. Like this is going to be the end. I don't think they're gonna do any more saga.
Well, no, they already said that this is going to be the end of the Skywalker.
Yeah,
saga.
This is going to be the end of the Skywalker saga, which one I think is hilarious, and that was what my buddy who we were talking about it earlier. Was like, he brought to my attention, he's like, J.J. Abrams does like, you'll get it, you probably won't. You know Brian Michael Bendis comics?
Yeah.
Does that great thing where he pulls you in with all these fucking cool ideas and, hey man, what if Cyclops is a revolutionary? And hey, what about like all this cool, and then he just does not have a single fucking idea of where he is going to land this. Like he has all the cool ideas to play in Guardians of the Galaxy with like the one that was following the like the books and everything, like, or the movies, does all that and then just like doesn't know where to fucking take it. And he's like, think of every J.J. Abrams thing.
So Dragon Ball GT,
just
for the anime reference of the day.
Yeah, like just J.J. Abrams has all these cool ideas and then just never quite seems to like land the plane properly. And then they were like, hey, here's the keys to this thing that we need you to land and wrap up 9 movies in one.
Oh, he is Brian Michael Bendis.
Like, and then they just flew a plane. He piloted for like a hot minute, and then they were like, well, landing.
Then he took a nap in the co-pilot.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, don't worry, we'll just wake you up for the landing bit. Like, and then they were like, cool. So I'm curious. Like, you can go off of what you think, J.J. Abrams. What do you think? How would you want these 9 movies, or in your case, 8, because you haven't seen one of them? Have you only not seen Attack of the Clones?
That's the only of like the numbered entries. It's the only one I haven't seen.
Okay, so yeah. How would you want to end Star Wars? End the Skywalker thing.
And then Anakin woke up.
Still a slave.
Still sand everywhere. It's rough and coarse.
And I'm owned by a flying Gonzo.
But then
Or
his mom
Grover.
walks in the room.
Wait, who was Gonzo? Was
Gonzo's?
Gonzo's the one? Yeah, he's got the nose, right?
His name's not Gonzo. Gonzo's the fucking hook-nosed blue Muppet.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, that's what
exactly
he's talking
it.
about.
Yeah, Watto.
Oh,
Watto
okay.
is just a flying version of Gonzo.
Okay, I thought you thought Watto's name was Gonzo.
go in the making get the pod race?
Have you seen a Muppet movie?
Yeah, have you seen Watto? He's a fucking Muppet. He's just a CG version of a Muppet.
I'm just trying to imagine Gonzo saying this.
I'm trying to
I
think.
love Muppets from space.
So wait, Grover is the Sesame Street one. He doesn't have
Grover's the super Grover, yeah.
He's just blue and has like a big nose, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have like the hook nose.
No, Gonzo.
Gonzo's got that.
Yeah, he's an alien.
Yeah, like Watto.
And he must build jacuzzi.
Yeah, but so that's how you would end it. You're just-
Yeah, and then Anakin woke up.
And Anakin woke up and he's still
He woke up and he rolled over and he said, "Good morning, sweetie." Then Gonzo rolls over.
Wait, okay, so he's teenage.
Gonzo from the Muppets.
I feel like Gonzo and like Marge Simpson are like
I was just about to-
are only like a hair off of like
Rizzo. Gonzo.
Gonzo. We love
Cozy's
Gonzo.
been real quiet
I
for
know
a while.
he's thinking about
He's
how
trying.
he
He's
wants
trying
to
to end Star. Is it you're trying to end Star Wars? Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did we just wake you up?
No.
we just wiggled the mouse and clicked, and he's like, "What's your password?"
You were supposed to be ending Star Wars. Oh, I'm buffering.
Yeah, I have an update, so
No.
Your printer's out of ink.
No, I'm just not sure if I could I'm not even sure if I could come up with an ending that would be satisfying to me for Star Wars because there's so many loose ends. There's so many things that I'm not sure if I could tie
What's
up.
your favorite part about Star
what's okay? Pick a loose thread, and then end that.
Wars? Yeah, wrap
and
something
then
up.
you do that. Rob will do one, and then I'll do one.
Okay.
Okay, so
And we can build off the ones that the other ones just did.
All right. Do you want me to go first? Because I kind of have an idea. I think of where I would want to,
Where you would want to, what you would want to direct.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try and think of an answer. I don't think I'm going to have an answer.
Okay. Well, you just.
So,
All right, Cozy. I'm gonna give you one. I'll just to make it a little easier.
Give you something to think about.
Figure out what you want to do with C3PO and R2D2. Okay.
isn't 3PO dead?
Nope.
No,
3PO is very much alive. He's fine. He's got that red
he's
arm.
got the red arm.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you
So-
not remember that?
No, I don't. I remember R2D2 ran out of batteries,
Yeah.
and
then
then
the-
he didn't.
And
for some
C3PO
reason.
was there when he woke up.
And
Yeah.
then I don't fucking remember 3PO at all.
Yeah, he had the red arm. He literally introduces himself like,
heavens!
and he's like, "I bet you're wondering about the red arm," and then literally never brings it
No
up.
one
and
else
it's like
asks.
the fucking greatest. That is like the best part
You know
of that
what?
movie for
I
me.
think that is his send off.
I bet you're wondering about the red arm, and then ends it.
Well, the other one was busted, and I found this one.
So-
Isn't that invigorating?
So think about and then BB-8 because that's the other droid. If you want,
Yeah.
you get those three droids. What would you want to do to give them a proper send off? You just sit there and marinate on that for a second. My thing, my biggest problem with the three movies is Rey.
Okay.
Like, hands down, and I don't like hate her. I just think that every time they do something cool with her as a character, they then kind of like
They backpedal a
they
little.
backpedal or they pander it, and there's no depth. And every time they try to give depth, like you said, they backpedal it.
And it's forced. It's not a whole lot of her like doing stuff because she wants to. It's like, here's this opportunity laid out directly in front of you.
Yeah.
And you have nothing else going on.
Exactly. Like, it is not, there's no character drive. She has zero drive as a character to do anything other than, like, I guess. Like, Luke felt, granted, in the first movies, he doesn't feel obligated to do much in the first movie. But by Empire Strikes Back, he's like, oh, I need to stop this guy.
Yeah.
And now I'm the only person
And he killed my master.
Yeah, he killed my master. I'm the only person who can do this. I'm going to go fuck that guy up. And then he finds out that it's his dad. It's like, holy shit. And then the last movie is, all right, now I need to figure out, now that's a whole new complex. I need to figure out how I can bring him back. Because I feel like now that I know that he's my dad, we have some connection. And he can't be all evil. She just doesn't have that. She has zero motivation to
You're really going to blame her for not having parents?
Yep. So I want her and Kylo Ren to have like a really, I think I can almost guarantee that's gonna fucking happen. They need to have like a cool fight, but I want like episode 3, episode 1 lightsaber battles.
Ridiculous fucking acrobatics.
Yeah, they're fucking dope. I don't understand why those.
Here's my problem with the fights in these. Like, everything's like the force, and none of them really use it other than like
to like move some shit.
Well, and
you missed episode 2.
I did miss episode 2.
Episode 2, yeah, they do fucking lightning and like they're fighting each other and.
Well, like I want to see them like as they're like backflipping through the place. I want them like force throwing like busted pieces of the building at each other.
That is episode 2.
How
Count Dooku.
All right.
Like
maybe I need to watch
Obi-Wan and
episode
Anakin
2.
are like, yeah, we're both like 8 decades younger than you, old man. We're gonna kick your ass. And he's
8 decades less wise.
He literally he moves a pillar and throws it at Obi-Wan. Like, it's just like, and you're gonna stay the fuck down there. All right, well, you're the only one left now. Like, that's exactly how it.
Well, then I want them to do that again, and then let me watch it.
I like the really high paced, like, choreographed. I think it looks. I think you have more investment in it. You're like watching it. You're like, these guys are fucking.
Well, okay, they had that in the Last Jedi with the
Did they?
with the like knightly order or whatever when in the one fight where they all just were.
I thought that was a fantastic fight.
It was a cool fight, but like
it wasn't Anakin and fucking Obi-Wan fighting on Mustafar. It wasn't the.
It was like the Kill Bill when she's fighting like the 99 hands or whatever.
Fight at all.
You didn't like the Mustafar fight?
No, I thought it was emotionless and like I was not invested in that fight at all.
What would you change about Ren?
What would I change about? I would make her fuck up. I would make her actually make a decision.
I don't know who I said, but you knew who I meant.
Ray.
Sorry.
Yeah, you said Ren.
Oh, like Kylo.
Yeah. I would make Ray actually make a mistake.
Yeah.
She hasn't done that. She has yet to make one bad decision. One decision that has not turned out fucking fantastic for everybody. Like, oh, I'm not going to go with you, Kylo Ren. And I think that's how I would kind of end it. I would actually kind of reverse the roles. I would have something, I don't know what, but I would like to see something where Kylo Ren and her are both engaged in a moment and the outcome of that, and possibly a fight, actually reverses their roles. Where Kylo Ren sees something good and is actually able to come back more to a light kind of positioning, and Rey is the one who turns.
She goes too far.
Yeah, I want them to be placed into a situation where their actual morals are challenged, because that's what a lot of this, especially with Kylo Ren, that is his fucking foundation, is what is good, what is bad, where do I sit. How do I, like, he rides this gray area of I want to be bad, but I'm not.
I'm being pulled apart.
Yeah, and I want that, and I think that would be a really cool way to kind of wrap that up, give a nice bow tie to the Skywalker, where they end on a good note. Where no matter what happens, however fucking far off that line of people have tried to come back and on the side of good and evil, that they would end on a high note. That's how I'd want it.
Okay.
And I want a fucking episode 3 or a fucking episode 1 cool ass choreographed fight. No slow motion, like just fucking crazy whipping lightsabers around like they're goddamn samurai swords and or bow staffs. I don't know what you would call that, but it's just so fast paced and it's so, I don't know. The fucking John Williams score, like just going along with it, it's really like, I don't know. It's good. What do you got?
I think that I think this is a point of contention with like real fans because I'm a super passive enjoyer of Star Wars, but I feel like this is kind of almost what I was getting at earlier. Like as much as they talk about how important the Force is, like they don't do anything with it. Like it never matters. It's like an easy plot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how did you the Force, not lazy writing or anything else. I feel like they need to find a way to like shut that shit down. And since they wrote in the whole midichlorian thing, I feel like they could absolutely do something where like something kills that off.
Yeah.
Or I guess, because what, the midichlorian, that's not like the driver of the Force. They're just attracted to Force.
Midi-chlorians, they kind of even retconned a little. They really only bring it up the one time.
Yeah.
Which is apparently like some weird cell thing.
But yeah, like they updated it where it's not like, you don't have the Force because you have midichlorians. The midichlorians are there because they're attracted to your Force. What do they call that? Force sensitivity or whatever.
You have a Force sensitivity. So there's people who can tap into it. Like, I think of it like chi, because a lot of Star Wars is based off of like Eastern philosophy.
Right.
So that's what it is. It's chi.
I think they need to find a way, especially like if this is like the end of the Skywalker this and that. I feel like that.
Chi.
I feel like it would be really it would be a really good send off to just like. And now
the Force is dead.
The thing that made you the most important fucking people in existence is gone now. This truly is the end of your reign.
Ooh, I kind of like that. I mean, that's a really bleak way to end Star Wars.
But then everything else is going to carry on without that getting in the way.
Yeah. It's just fucking smugglers in politics.
It's just going to turn into Borderlands.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
That'd be... No, that's like, it's bleak,
you
but
want
I do like it.
From Avatar.
Which one was...
The Legend of Korra.
Didn't see it.
Oh, well, never mind then.
All right, so have you figured out what you were going to do with C3PO and R2D2?
BB-8 leaves with...
Poe?
Yes.
Okay.
Poe Dameron, because that's who he came in with.
Yeah.
That's who he leaves. That's his droid.
Yeah.
C3PO lives a cushy life just being an assistant droid, no longer in the middle of fucking wars, because he doesn't want to be. He was made as a personal assistant droid, and he finally gets a job just being a valet butler robot where he doesn't have to deal with wartime anymore.
And it's not for Jabba the Hutt?
What if
not for Jabba the Hutt?
What if he does it for the Asian girl from Last Jedi?
I thought she died.
No, she lives.
She lives. It's the same way that what's his name died quote unquote at the end of Force Awakens.
Finn,
yeah.
Don't worry, it's okay. He's easily forgettable.
Yeah.
God, he's a fucking
Yeah. So yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Like she comes out some war hero and leaves that because again, super done with war. With that she didn't really want to be a fighter in the first place.
And 3PO's like, I'll help you out. And she's like, okay, cool. Sounds good.
And then R2D2.
R2D2.
Because he has no more Skywalkers to hang out with.
Releases the fucking AI from the Millennium Falcon. And then they go around the galaxy freeing and liberating other droids from enslavement.
I dig that. That sounds...
because that was a fucked up thing that happened in Solo.
There's an AI? I didn't see Solo.
Haven't seen Solo.
Oh, okay.
Because I actually really enjoy Star Wars movies, and I didn't want it to ruin it.
So Donald Glover's character,
Lando Calrissian.
Yes, that guy.
Don't yes me like you're. I need to confirm this.
You know what? I'll give him this one.
No. I was for some reason I was thinking something else. Anyway,
Troy Barker.
No.
Anyway,
Barnes.
So, Lando has a partner robot.
Okay.
Both in a romantic, an eventually romantic. I'm not sure sexual. I don't think they get into that. But he's just like, yeah, no. Me and this robot, we're on the same fucking level.
Okay.
And this robot's like, yeah, he's a human, but whatever. He's cool. Anyway, free all the robots ever. robots are slaves to humans. We need to liberate them. That was this entire character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, because they just needed to include the fucking Kessel Run,
Yeah.
robot gets damaged, and the only thing Lando can think to do to try and save this robot is by uploading her AI consciousness
Into the
to the Millennium Falcon, and then she becomes the nav system. And Lando's the only person who really like acknowledges that this was even done. So this robot, whose entire existence was predicated on freeing other robots, has been in a robot hell, taking commands by fucking Han Solo of all people
And a Wookiee.
for 30 plus years.
So at the end of Empire Strikes Back, when Lando gets the Millennium Falcon, it was like a reunite.
He gets it in Return of the Jedi.
But yes,
But he got it when he was he took it when he was frozen in carbonite.
I forgot.
Rob, don't question me on Star
Oh,
Wars,
yeah.
okay?
So yes. So as far as R2D2 is concerned, who's just like,
Yeah.
I'm chaotic good. He fucking goes onto that
so
ship,
chaotic good. I love it.
finds out that there's a fucking freedom fighter AI in the Millennium Falcon.
You should already know.
Yeah.
He's been plugged.
He probably
into
does know,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's been plugged into that thing a few times.
Oh, yeah. R2, you are an asshole.
Like, he's like,
Yeah. Or he's just waiting for his moment.
this
I
is
need-
what freedom feels like.
homeboy needs Siri on that nav dash.
And then just takes her out, puts her in a different robot body, and then they go around the galaxy liberating other robots.
Did I ever tell you that I went to the open audition for Force Awakens?
Nope.
Nice.
They had an open audition. They were looking for, because they were like, we want to kind of keep the Star Wars tradition of like, we want to grab no names, people who have never been in a movie before. That's how, Harrison Ford was in American Graffiti. This is his only other movie, and that was also directed by George Lucas.
Yeah.
So like, he had never done anything.
And he was a carpenter boy.
Yeah, Mark
Yep.
Hamill was on, like, all of these people were just nobodies. And that's what, like, he wanted to do, was like that. And so they were like, we want to kind of keep that spirit and grab people who have never acted before or professionally acted. And then like I get there and I was like, oh, this will be really cool, like, and everything like that. And then like they were just going from city to city doing, like, they call it an open audition, where they would just want to look, see who's there, and then decide where they want to start doing a casting call from. And they're like talking to people and they're like moving on. And then the lady who I'm talking to about this, she's like, yeah, like we were like, we want like a more diverse and blah, 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 blah. Me being like a white dude, me looking around, and it's all white dudes.
Star Wars fans.
Yeah, it's all white dudes and white chicks. And then I like looked at the thing and I was like, it was like Detroit. They couldn't be like less like trying to just find, like, it was Detroit, Atlanta, New Orleans.
Not a lot of Houston or Dallas on that
Yeah,
list.
no, I'm just like, I looked to my buddy Matt. I'm like, Matt, I don't think we're getting that.
Shit. I
Okay.
wish I had known.
I think we're doing this.
Oh,
No.
you could have been Poe.
Why is that funny, Rob?
They wanted darker.
We've been through my family lineage.
You bring your
We had to-
23 and me.
we had- we had to-
fucking thing like, bam.
We had to retcon that out of an episode.
Yeah.
We just took that episode down.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So,
Yeah, nobody gets the context.
tweet Cozy if you want to know what's up.
On his totally existent Twitter account.
Yes.
Do you microwave your pizza rolls?
Most of the time, yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with
Hot.
you? Like, do you do it because you want pizza rolls now, or do you do it because you think they taste better?
I like them softer,
I will
chewier.
fucking. What the fuck is wrong with you? You, Mr. I need to fucking cook steak in 2 goddamn pans, and everybody thinks that that's bullshit. You fucking microwave
There's
pizza
no
rolls.
fucking science behind pizza rolls, Rob.
Yeah.
You can
When's
get
last-
the
when's
fuck
last
out of my
time-
house right now.
You put fucking microwave pizza rolls.
You're
and
right.
they're
There is
soggy.
no science because it's magic.
Yeah, it's fucking soggy as shit, or they're nice and crispy and delicious.
I'm not saying I dislike them crispy. I just prefer like soft. I just prefer
You
them
just like
chewy.
soggy.
Yeah, you like soft dick too? No, you like it rock hard, don't you?
Yeah.
It's fucking pizza rolls. There's a very large difference between the microwavable shitty food and like food you have to actually cook.
You cook. You don't actually cook fucking pizza rolls. You fucking cook pizza rolls.
You fucking
You
pizza rolls.
fucking pizza rolls. You cook those pizza rolls in the fucking oven. And it's so fucking good. You have no idea
What's your favorite thing about pizza rolls, Rob?
probably how fucking delicious they are. Oh my god, I can fucking eat pizza rolls all day long.
It's a crackling pizza party.
And the name is so because I'm a puppet.
Are you spitting in my mouth?
One time I found the lost city of El Dorado. Turns out it was just pizza rolls.
Fucking Tostinos, hit us up. We will be sponsored by Tostinos.
Dude, you meme all you boys meme all the time. Hit us up.
Yeah, yep. Click the link below.
fucking pizzas.
made of fucking pizzas.
Oh man, I hope pizza sounds so good right now. Well, it's kind of like that.
God, that thing is like what, 7 years old?
Oh my god, it's probably coming up on 10 years now.
God, and it's still
Good
fucking.
thing about Charlie the Unicorn, made by the same people, came out when we were in like when I was
Yeah.
early high school.
Yeah.
I would argue junior high.
No.
It might.
No, I remember-
didn't find it until high school.
I remember
because-
watching it in the choir hall, and it had just come out with you.
Okay.
I remember specifically watching it.
We're taught so Charlie the Unicorn. The thing that we were going on for way too long a second ago is another thing that Film Cow made. Just they're funny. Look them up.
Yeah,
They're the ones who did Charlie the Unicorn.
Crackling Oats. That was the
Crackling out.
Crackling Oats. But they yeah, that probably and it still fucking holds up. Like we just watched it like
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and it's
Man,
fucking
it's
hilarious.
weird how like there are some weird internet things that have like just been like, oh no, and then some internet things that are like, oh
just
no, this
age
is
perfectly.
just as hilarious like now.
Well, because I think that there's no time to it. There's nothing that specifically dates it. It's like Eddie Izzard. Like Eddie Izzard is forever funny because he talks about history. He talks about something that is
It was already old when he did it.
and it's never going to change.
yeah,
Like there's no
it's as old 100 years from now as it is today.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, even then, like the way that you present something can definitely like.
Okay, but it is.
I mean,
It's gonna feel.
but you're like you said
1600s are gonna feel as long ago to someone in the year 2200 as they do to us.
I know, but it was just like you're like 16. It will be
Yeah.
It'll be just as old as it
Just
is
as old.
in 100 years as it is today. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, wait.
Yep. And I'm right.
Anyway,
No, I was just saying, like, there are some things where, again, just even sometimes the way that something is presented, can definitely like change whether or not it's funny.
yeah.
And yeah, for some like Crackling Oats, Charlie the Unicorn,
Charlie
especially
the-
Charlie the Unicorn,
Charlie the
because
Unicorn
that
is
was
not funny.
oh
Charlie the Unicorn does not hold up.
well, Rob grew up.
Yep. Sorry, that one does not. And this is coming from a person who watches Teen Titans Go. Yeah.
Teen Titans Go is almost like parody though.
Teen
That's a
Titans
little
Go
different.
is fucking great. Charlie the Unicorn is
No,
not.
and well, that's one like
that's
trying-
the fucking difference, bro.
well, like the way you said that made it sound like Teen Titans Go is like very lowbrow. I would say that it's like everyone takes a lot of the lowbrow shit out of context, and that it's really well crafted parody.
No, there's plenty of lowbrow in it.
Yeah,
there is
and
plenty of lowbrow.
there
and
is.
it's as it runs off the same type of humor that I feel like Charlie the Unicorn is, which is absurdism and just randomness. And to me, Charlie the Unicorn just doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it is. It's just because I fucking like when it came out, it was fucking everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
and that was like that was the funniest shit on the internet at that point in time, where maybe
What's the most recent video that hit like that?
Old Town Road.
That's a music video though.
Oh, like you're talking about like specifically a viral like
Yeah, like a
comedy
viral thing that like someone just made as a little passion project and.
I don't know.
Honestly, you're gonna hate it. I think I know what it is though,
Ooh.
because I hate it.
Ooh.
I would probably say it's the meme. It's the clip of vines that you would see by the Pauls, you see on Facebook and everything like that. Like I'm trying to think of what.
Well, but I'm
like,
talking about like a specific piece of media.
Yeah, like it would be.
I'm not gonna say a Vine compilation.
No. This would be like the one I'm thinking of in particular is like what I would do to like a home rob. What I think it's the one with like if you were robbed or something like that, and it's like, or the video is, it's one of the fucking Pauls. I don't know, the blonde one who has like the not as douchey haircut.
Okay, to cut to a point here, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Logan, was it Logan Paul?
I know there's Logan and Aaron.
Sure,
I know
don't
one of them
fucking know.
is boxing a dude in Britain. That's about all I know.
I don't know. I remember. I think it's Logan Paul. I think it's. But anyway, there's a video of that he did, and it was like there was like a spooky ghost like hanging out in the fucking back of a staircase or something like that, and it was
Is
like
that the one where they like all go up and they just like beat
and
the
they
shit out of the ghost?
shit out of it. Yeah, I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's good. But as far as like viral success, I fucking have seen that video posted by everybody.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what
though.
you're talking about.
I don't.
But only because I've seen it as part of compilation of other things. I've never seen it like independently.
Oh yeah, I've already like if I'm like scrolling through like Facebook and something, it'll be like my fucking aunt will be like, "Oh, I thought this was funny."
That's because all your family's from Warren and they think that punching stuff's funny.
Like the last thing that I
I don't know if that counts.
I mean that's super fair, but like,
though the last thing I can think of is pen, pineapple, apple pen.
no, I think that was still pretty much in the niche of like Japanese like weeb kids.
Oh no,
Dude,
no,
that
that
got
was on
on-
that was on the news and shit.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, that was on the Grammys.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm out
That-
of it.
That might be it.
Yeah, that was like legitimately
Baby
on
Shark?
the Grammys. Ooh.
It didn't come from the internet though, or
Oh.
did it?
Baby Shark. I sang Baby Shark as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, I did that in like elementary school.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
There was that, and there was another one about like beavers climbing a tree, and I always kind of like lumped those together. You
Fucking-
turn your phone off.
It's your fucking brother in our group chat.
Hey, we're all in the same group chat. Do you hear our phones?
Yeah, I know.
But no, like I think it's there are less like viral quote viral sensations like that I think we are overall exposed to though, just because like back then, like as you kind of said, that was the most hilarious thing on the internet.
There was like
the internet was smaller.
There was one internet back then. There's like a
Like-
million fucking internets now.
And like right now, like Rob, I'm sure you know the name, but you probably don't give a shit about Jeffree Star, right?
I think he's a terrible human being.
Okay,
I'm actually pretty invested in a lot of that shit, and yeah, no, I just don't like him.
okay. So
Fuck that guy.
What about you, Jeff? Like I'm sure you know the name,
Yeah.
but it's probably not someone like you like know anything about, really, right?
He was in a MySpace band, and he got really famous making makeup.
Yeah.
Okay, so see, that's about all that. Like well, I guess you know more.
Well, and
But,
like,
like-
he has all these like things. I get that there's a bunch of controversies and stuff around him at pretty much every point.
Sure, but to that point, you don't really like you don't keep up on it. It's just like stuff that you're like, oh, okay.
It's fed to me like
By
passively
proxy,
through
yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
Whereas Rachel really likes Jeffree Star and friend Shane Dawson, or likes Shane Dawson and likes them both. And I don't give a fuck about either of those two people. But when I saw like their viewer counts, they amass over like 50 million views per video.
Did I tell you about my Shane Dawson rant?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Whereas
Continue.
on the other end, you know, there are some really stupid fucking things, like weeby things, we'll say, on YouTube that can easily reach 10, 20 million views. But like within our circle of influence,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, everyone within like this kind of community knows about this.
And on our community,
But-
we reach 60
yeah.
tops.
Like
I don't know if I'd use the word community.
but yeah, within
Hey, Mark.
like weebs, like some of these creators are very, very influential to us, but outside of that like sphere, nothing.
Yeah. So you're saying that it's hard for things to get viral because everything is so insular now?
Yeah, it's hard to have that kind of universal appeal anymore.
Yeah. No, I agree. I also think that a lot of it you don't see creators kind of. I feel like it's easier to get views, and I think it's more just speaking to the culture, less to like how things are.
Mhm.
But I think it's easier for the culture to have something that's a lot more like palatable. And like I think that what it basically is that we like why Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson and stuff like that have more views is because it's more controversial. It's more like, oh, can you believe that this person blah blah blah, and it is pandering to those communities, which then like there's like controversy and this and that, and it's like almost like a melodrama of things. Where I think that in our time it wasn't so much of that kind of community, and it was like, look at this funny thing that I made. And I don't think that you see that as on more of a creative aspect of things breaking through that mold.
So here's my thing. Like to kind of go off of that, where do we get all of our memes now? We get them on Facebook or Twitter, and from an account that focuses usually pretty strictly on one of the aspects of the content of the memes that they're providing.
Dank prequel memes.
And what it like think now like 15, 20 years back, what did we get our memes from? Like E-Bombs World and Funny Junk, which was just like everything.
Yeah.
Like you would find stuff like End of Z World, which has no real like specific demographic, and then you would also get like a Jib Jab video, which is like political commentary humor. Then you would get like Star Wars raps and stuff, which is obviously going to be super focused on like, you know, people who
It's
of
broad.
Star Wars fandom are going to really get it and no one else is going to, but they're all going to come from literally the same like list of 7 things that were published that day.
And if you look on like YouTube's like trending, YouTube's top
That's
trend,
probably the closest thing you would have to
and
that anymore.
YouTube's top trending is always fucking Jeffree Star doing this with this person, and it's
Jimmy Kimmel.
and it's or Jimmy Kimmel or
you know, okay, that's a good point. Like,
yeah, like
while it is the closest thing, it's still not going to be the like guerrilla creation that it was back then.
yeah, and I think, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think maybe you know what was the History of the Earth. That one that
Bill Wirtz.
Yeah.
That I fucking love so much.
yeah, I think that's probably the closest thing to something that I've seen recently, and that was still like a fucking couple
Yeah, that was
years
like 5 or 6. That was almost 5 years ago, I want to
yeah,
say.
of something creative that
Maybe not quite.
that was like that kind of did that people
That broke the shell of what it existed with.
yeah, because I think like I think that everything is kind of like, and I think YouTube wants it that way, and I think that like that's how they get their views. They have their creators create this fucking melodrama. It's why there was that big controversy. I can't remember with who, but it was funny because it was it was a guy who made fun of, hey guys, I just need to get something off my chest. I don't think we do this enough.
The little like fan
like
catch up videos about something personal that you know, persona went through.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to like pander to that. I'm not trying to say that it's stupid or anything like that. I'm saying it is somewhat of a stereotype of what YouTubers do.
They all have the real one.
Yeah, you know, I know we have a lot of fun, but I need to kind of talk about something serious this time.
And I'm nothing without you, the fans.
Yeah, and it's just, and I'm not saying that those are bad things, but I'm saying that that's what YouTube likes and that's what they want because it creates that drama.
And it also like
an engagement with the
the
audience.
engagement is like the biggest.
Yeah, that keeps them going. Where if I created something and just like, hey, I made this video of like an animation, like I made this animation. Here you go. There's no interaction with that, except for that was really funny.
The difference now is it's a brand instead of just like a thing.
Exactly. Fucking Dog of Wisdom is not. There's nothing it's fucking hilarious. We all love it, but like, there's no engagement with that. There's no interaction with that, and that's
Right.
not what we do anymore, I think.
And he looks like he said something for a second.
Yeah.
No, I just
No.
I
Well, now you got to talk.
I just watch like 5 people on YouTube. So like
you're like, I have no idea what the fuck.
yeah, like I watched Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, I watched Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Planet Earth.
Star Talk.
Star
No,
Talk
God
with Neil
damn it.
deGrasse Tyson.
Star Talk.
Binging with Babish because he cooks cool things. Grumps, Friends Without Benefits, and then like sometimes miscellaneous stuff from other people that upload once every like year.
Yeah.
So
I watch a lot of video essays.
I watch a lot of video essays.
That's actually where I've been.
Oh,
like,
I guess
really...
I watch a lot of Wisecrack and
I don't like Wisecrack as
And-
much. Wisecrack, I do like some of their essays, but like wait, okay. Sorry, Jeff's like nodding and doing hand motions, and I'm trying to read what his baseball second. Or
he's
third,
telling us to shut the fuck up,
his
Rob.
third base coach.
I'm telling we got to end this episode. I'm tired.
Okay.
It's 51 minutes.
Oh Jesus! Well, when you do this motion of
Wrap it
up.
oh, I thought that was keep going.
No!
Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad.